Welcome back to Arcanum, where we convinced the king in waiting to tell us where his dad was, even though his dad's all messed up. So we're gonna take this secret passage down instead of going through an entire dungeon. You know, now that I say that out loud, I'm realizing just how wackadoo that is, that you can just skip the dungeon. Is this literally it? He's literally right under the throne. Not even a passage. He said there was a passage. There isn't a passage. It's literally just this. It's just a room.
What? Who dares disturb the exile of Thunderstone?
Well, I'm glad that he's voiced. Saved my voice a little bit. Forgive me, Your Highness. I had no choice but to...
Quiet. This insolence is unforgivable. The violation of my ancient right for solitude in exile is not broken so easily. Your life hangs in the balance, stranger. Speak quickly, lest you taste of the fury of Harrow.
He hefts a double-edged sword from his belt, or a double-edged axe from his belt. Wait a moment. I come here with the blessing of your son.
My son? Randver? He would dare permit such an affront? I've come here to writhe upon the blade of my sorrow, to live the thousand deaths by the ancient right of kings. These laws are passed down through the mountain from the beginning of remembered time. Your life is forfeit to them, as is my own. Do you understand?
How can you be how can you be this edgelord? This, this passionate in your self-hatred 100 years, well, not 100 years, 80 years later. How can you even keep that up for a year? I get that, you know, if you live hundreds of years, your, time passes differently for you, but, how can you expend that energy? It takes energy to be that. It takes energy to be that. Yeah, it would just end the sentence there. Excuse me. Stop. I come with news of the Black Mountain clan.
What? How do you know? Speak quickly. Your life still hangs in the balance.
Fine. I have a story to tell.
I've no words, no words. My crime, it seems, is even more heinous than I thought. I deserve much worse than this mere isolation.
Crawling in my skin. Longhair, I need to know exactly what happened.
In all the time since the judgment was passed, I have never spoken of it. My shame has held my tongue. It seems that very shame shall now, finally, bring the betrayal to light.
Please, these elves who approached you, who were they?
A delegation of elves sent from the Silver Lady herself. They came not long after Bates had built his first steam engine. Technology in the hands of the human had spread and advanced at an alarming rate, and the elves were hit first and hardest.
How? What had the spread of technology done to the elves?
Their forests were being cleared with the help of technology. Massive steam-powered clear-cutters. The oldest groves, towering and untouched for thousands of years, were being destroyed without prejudice. I saw much of this with my own eyes. The ancient forest of Morbahan is little more than a graveyard now.
I mean, aren't the elves supposed to be magic wielders? Shouldn't they be blowing up tractors and shit? I don't know. Makes sense to me. Why did the technology spread so fast among the humans?
There are many reasons. Humans, in comparison with the other races, live such short lives. Because of this, I believe that every human action is motivated through fear. The fear of death. You would think that this was a relative issue, that humans would learn to live with this limitation and accept it. This is not true.
And
Therefore, humans, when confronted with any situation, see it through the veil of their own mortality. Achieve, advance, perform. Humans are constantly driven by the shadow of their own death. This fear, unfortunately, clouds their judgment, deadens their sense of right and wrong. Humans act first, think later, and feel last of all.
I mean, weren't we literally just talking to your son about how morality for dwarves is kind of not a thing? Anyway, I was just thinking, actually, as he was talking about the fact that you don't have to play a human. We happen to be playing a human, but we could have played a dwarf or an elf, but not a gnome, because gnomes are trash. And in terms of technology?
When Bates was given a look at our technology, he was overcome. As a human, his first thought was, what can I use this for? When it should have been, what is the cost of its use? Technology exploded in their hands because they are not burdened with our longevity. Humans rarely live long enough to see the consequences of their mistakes.
You know, I don't think that this is supposed to be a like morality tale about environmental damage and all that, but it could be. It's a bit on the nose, although it hasn't called it out explicitly. The adversarial relationship really has more to do with, or has had more to do with, the interference between magic and technology. It's a curious possible twist. You mentioned the Silver Lady. Who is she?
The Silver Lady is Mother Queen to the elves. She is very old, much older than I, and very powerful in the ways of magic.
And she was angered by what had happened to the forests?
The delegation told me that she was extremely hurt and angry about the damage that had been done. According to them, because of her age and power, she was hurt the most by the clearing. Her connection to the forests was strongest of all.
Have you ever spoken to her directly?
No, I'm not sure if any but elven eyes have ever been laid upon her. Over the years, we have corresponded through messengers. Elves and dwarves are very different, and we tend to stay away from one another. But our relationship, as culturally strained as it may be, has always been civil. We don't necessarily understand one another, but we've always respected the differences.
I mean, I know I'm a charming motherfucker, but like, I just walked down here, he was gonna chop my head off, and 2 minutes later, he's like telling me he's expositing his life story and all this information about the elves and their relationships and so on and so forth, and he will barely talk to his son? Okay. Where does she live?
In Kintara, the oldest city of the elves, somewhere within the Glimmering Forest.
What are the major differences between dwarves and elves? That's a stupid question that I'm gonna ask.
I've said before that there is a strong connection between living things and magic, and the magic flows the most strongly in the veins of elves. Dwarves are very different. We feel a strong connection to the earth, but in another way. We love those things which are eternal, unchangeable. Earth, stone, metal. In those things are strength, but not life as you know it.
And the elven delegation, what did they demand of you?
They said that if the Black Mountain clan was not punished, there would be war. War. I told them that a punishment was already being decided upon, and that we, as dwarves, would deal with them. They refused. They claimed rights as the afflicted, and therefore as the judges. They agreed that exile was a suitable punishment, but they wanted to be the vessel of that retribution.
This is stupid and petty. Punishing the dwarves for sharing their technology does not fix the problem with the humans. It's just vindictive. I mean, for fuck's sake, they very clearly know this is all about Gilbert Bates. I mean, between the dwarves and the elves, they theoretically could have sent some assassins to go kill the young Gilbert Bates and prevent the further spread, at least, or at least hampered the further spread of the steam engine. I mean, for fuck's sake, we had this whole plot line that we've assuredly forgot about, or most of you probably have, with the Bates's competitor who couldn't figure out how to make anything worthwhile because Bates just stole it all. Like, if you kill Bates, take it, like, burn his notes and blow up whatever examples you can find of the steam engines, it's gonna take a long ass time. Like, this other smart guy apparently couldn't even reverse engineer the stuff he could get his hands on. So what? It seems like it could have been fixed a different way. Guys made a lot of bad choices. Are the elves a warlike people? Is it in their nature?
No. I know that there was a time of violence many years ago among the elves. But from what I know of them, they are a very rational, peace-loving people. They know that ultimately, war benefits no one. I was very surprised when they came and threatened it.
I see. There seem to be some inconsistencies here.
Yes. The more we talk about it, I begin to get the same feeling. Yes, the elves would have been angry, but would they really have threatened war? Morbahan was a tragedy, but directly affected none of the elven communities. Perhaps my fear blinded me to such things before. And now this mystery. Where are the dwarves of the Black Mountain clan?
Well, presumably Aranax, or whatever his name is, somehow supplanted the, what did they call her, the Silver Mother or whatever? And directed everybody to cause chaos. Does answer all, that would kind of answer a lot of the questions I was just raising. What was it you feared, Longhair? Why agree to the terms?
I am very old, stranger. You may know nothing of me, but believe me when I tell you that I've seen enough dwarven blood spilled to fill 1,000 lifetimes. Have you any idea what it would mean for there to be a war between the elves and the dwarves? Arcanum itself would not survive the conflict. And I was so very tired of filling tombs with the bodies of my people.
But
nothing. I chose to spare the dwarves, the world, the price of such a war. What was one clan's honor in comparison with the sheer cataclysm that would result otherwise? You ask what right they had? None. They merely forced a choice, and I chose the path of least resistance, the least pain. That was my betrayal, stranger.
What do you mean? You are merely acting out of concern.
But that is the point. I am king of the dwarves. It is my responsibility to lead them, to protect them. But most importantly, it is my responsibility to defend their honor, their dwarven honor. By allowing my own fear or concern, regardless of how justified that fear might be, to overshadow their honor was an unforgivable transgression.
Being a king isn't always easy.
Even as king, the choice is never mine as to whether even one dwarf is stripped of his honor. I should have brought this to the people, or just flatly refused from the beginning. I was a coward, a failure, and this exile is my punishment. Given the choice now, I would have waged war against all of Arcanum to uphold the honor of that foolish little clan.
Huh. The question is does the middle option here is that going to come off as disingenuous to him? Fuck it, let's go for it. I know. That's because your stone is still true.
What? What do you know of the nature of dwarven stone? You, an outsider. How could you possibly know of such things?
Randver put his faith in me. Perhaps you could as well.
Perhaps, but you are not even a dwarf. These are beliefs and concepts it takes a lifetime to reconcile. How could you possibly begin to understand how I feel?
He's totally right. This is bullshit. I know that it is difficult to live by both stone and shape.
Yes, I know.
I can't
I've
believe
thought long
this.
and hard about this. Dwarven stone tells me that any transgression against our honor is unthinkable. But my shape, as king, as their father, told me to protect them. I'd shouldered so much of their pain, I could do it no longer.
There's an interesting story here, right? But it's delivered so poorly. This reads like the thing I've been thinking for the last couple of lines here is that like this whole dialogue from him reads like one of those pre-planned interviews where the interviewee writes all the questions and then gives them to the interviewer to ask them, and then they act like they or their team didn't write them. Like all the things I am saying are totally shallow. They're just prompts for him to say his next thing. Like I am curious about this world and the long history of it, but there's so many inconsistencies, and like even if I'm enjoying the dialogue being delivered here, like it's wonky. But isn't part of life defining that shape, learning from mistakes?
Yes. Your words sound true, stranger. I know that no man is flawless. But I also know that each man's load to bear is different. A larger load carries more responsibility. Mine is heaviest of all. Therefore, the price for my betrayal must be the most costly.
What is the nature of that betrayal?
The nature of the betrayal? I failed my people. Isn't that what is most important here? The betrayal was against their stone. It seems, sadly, that my own stone is flawed.
This metaphor is getting pretty tortured here, guys. The failure is not one of stone, but of shape. Don't you see?
You shame me, stranger. Your words are harsh, but undeniably true. Perhaps you are correct, but it doesn't change what I've done, nor the price I need to pay. It is best if you just leave an old dwarf here to rot. It is your place to right this wrong.
Oh, this is fucked up. What is this? What do these mean? Decades of his own bullshit undone by one random human who wandered into his cave. I feel like this first option is supposed to make him, like, join me. I feel like they're both meant to do that, but fuck it. No, you must pay the price. I cannot do this for you.
How then? How can I do so?
You must return to your people. Be true to stone and shape.
By Alberic, you are right. I've been blinded by my own shame and not seen the true betrayal. I've betrayed myself and my people along with me. I shall return, stranger. I shall be king. By the name of Thunderstone, I swear it.
Jesus. I'm so very glad, but I still need some information.
Of course. I'll do anything within my power to help you.
Could you take a shower before we continue this discussion? You smell like shit. These dwarves who came to you, how can I find them?
As I said, they were supposedly sent from the Silver Lady.
Supposedly now.
I know very little of them. But I do have a name. Perhaps that will be enough for you to uncover this mystery.
What is that name?
The delegation was sent by someone named Mingorad, and I had many correspondences with this elf. Here is a letter that was sent to me by him.
Where can I find this Mingorad?
I'm unsure. The entire situation reeks of deception. I would tell you to seek him in Kintara, but I don't even know if the delegation was sent from there or not. Regardless, you may want to begin your search there. The Silver Lady might know of this Mingorad.
And where is Kintara?
I don't know, unfortunately. The location of Kintara is a well-guarded secret, but I do know it lies within the Glimmering Forest. The small town of Stillwater lies near the edge of that forest. Perhaps there you might find someone who knows where it is. Here, I'll mark your map with Stillwater's location.
Thank you, Longhair. I will do my best to find out the truth.
Wait. I'm much to blame for this situation. My fear and cowardice have helped in bringing about this tragedy. I feel I must do something to help you. Please, take Harrow, the first axe of my family. Its blade strikes true and deep in the hands of the righteous, especially if those hands are dwarven. Within it is
we
the
don't have any
strength
dwarves
of
in
the
our party.
Thunderstones. I give it to you.
I will put it to good use by not giving it to Magnus, the fake dwarf.
I'm sure you will. Godspeed on your quest, my friend. And if you do find out what happened to the Black Mountain clan, return to me. I would be very interested in finding out what really happened to them. Very interested.
It sounds slightly sinister. I just might do that. Goodbye, Longhair. Am I blocking your way?
I make preparations to return to my clan. Good luck, my friend.
Hilarious. Where's the axe? Where's the axe? Oh, it's at my feet. It's at the fucking... Oh my god. Oh god, this is terrible. Okay. No, you can... Oh, god damn it. Okay, somebody take this. There. Well, I didn't want you to... Shit. No, no, no. Give those back. You idiot. Don't put them on. Wait, where did it go?
What is it that you want of me?
Did one of you pick it up?
What is it that you want of me?
You picked it up. Give me that shit. It's not even that good. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty slow. I don't really want to give it to Magnus. He can't even use it. Why can't he use it? Because it's worse than the power axe. Hilarious. Well,
What is it that you want of me?
since we're at it, let's just make sure everybody's still got all their frickin' gear. You give me this back. Was this my helmet? No, the other one was my helmet. Give me that. Stop stealing my shit. Can't give you people anything. Still got the rusty revolver that I didn't give to What's-Her-Nugget. Ay, ay, ay. Well, what a time this has been. Find out what happened to the Black Mountain Clan. Find the Elven village of Kintara. And I apparently leveled up. And I'm super good. Well, next time on Arcanum, I guess we'll go upstairs and see who or what else is up. I wish I could look at the main map so I could see... What's even the point? Oh, I guess the Glimmering Forest is up there, so I do have to get past these mountain ranges in some way, shape, or form. I guess I'll find out more at some point about how that's going to happen. Where did he go? I guess he made a beeline for it when I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Next time on Arcanum, we'll follow up on those questions.